welcome to Power News, your window to the power sector. I'm Juhi Rajput. Let's begin with the top stories. Government directs Coal India to supply fuel based on MOUs. Demand-supply gap of coal increases to 161 million tons in 2011-12. With an eye on mining, NBCC seeks partners for coal blocks. CIL may hike prices by 5 to 10%. Reliance Power in fuel supply pact for UP plant. NTPC extends deadline for coal import tenders. Rise in power tariff lifts CESC profit in fourth quarter. Toshiba JSW bags rupees 1,675 crore order. And GVK Power and Infrastructure post net loss of 20.88 crores. Well, after the top stories of this week, let's move on to the news of the week. In what may come as a relief for power project developers, the Coal Ministry has directed state-owned coal companies to ensure uninterrupted fuel supply to plants commissioned till March 31st, 2012, as well as those to be commissioned during fiscal 2012-13, even if they fail to sign fuel supply agreements. The coal supply to these power projects would be maintained by coal companies under MOU route till the time fuel user and supply companies are ready to sign FSAs.
There was uncertainty over the supply of coal to many power projects as Coal India had decided to offer fuel to plants only through the FSA route as directed by the Committee of the Secretaries. Coal Ministry's recent move is expected to benefit about 18,000 megawatt of power projects to a host of power companies that have recently been commissioned or are in advanced stage of commissioning. The Coal Ministry directive has come after the Power Ministry expressed concern over the delays in signing of the FSAs. As per the decision, the coal to these power plants will be supplied for the quantities to be decided in consultation with the Central Electricity Authority till the time the FSAs for these plants are signed. Defending the move to force Coal India to sign agreements to supply coal to power companies, Coal Minister Shri Prakash Jaiswal said that the government's priority is to ensure availability of electricity at cheaper rate and it will not be cowed down by threats of legal action by minority shareholder TCI. In face of opposition from the company board, the government had last month issued presidential directive to CIL asking it to sign fuel supply agreements with power companies, committing to supply 80% of the quantities for which the contract has been signed.
The government plans to empower the regulator being set up for the coal sector with the authority to decide pricing. The proposal, if implemented, would deprive state-owned Coal India the freedom it currently enjoys in fixing and revising prices of its output. To talk on the issue in detail, we have been joined by Dr. Kirit Parekh, former Member Planning Commission and Chairman IRADE. Good evening, Dr. Parekh, and welcome to Power News.
My pleasure.
Dr. Parekh, presently power sector is facing problems such as acute coal shortage, higher coal price and limited import options. India has around 76,000 megawatt capacity addition plan in 12th five-year plan. But around 40,000 megawatt capacity, which is coming by March 2015, does not have fuel supply agreement in place. Don't you feel the situation is really alarming for the power sector?
Yeah, I think unfortunately this has been the case that in all our five-year plans we have not been able to attain the target that we set ourselves. This time, however, the problem is further compounded by the fact that Coal India has not been able to produce the coal that we need. As a consequence, last year we imported 100 billion tons of coal, nearly 20% of the coal requirement of the country. And that is a very large amount of import. And because India went suddenly into the international market, the world prices of coal went up. So we had a double whammy. We had to pay for an expensive imported coal, but we have to pay a much higher price because we ourselves pushed up the price. Of course, China also went into the international market at the same time.
According to you, what should be the appropriate solution for meeting the coal deficit in the country?
You know, the solution is obviously we should increase coal production in the country. And in 2006, in the Integrated Energy Policy Committee, which I was responsible for and which was accepted by the government in 2008 as a policy, it clearly recommended reforms for the coal sector. Unfortunately, not much has been done on this. We had said, for example, that there should be more private sector entry should come in, that we had said that a coal regulator should be there we had said that fuel supply agreement should be entered into by Coal India with all the suppliers, and it should be symmetric. That is, take or pay. If you don't take, you pay, and supply or pay. If you don't give, then you pay. So equal penalty clauses should be there. So we had suggested a number of things which unfortunately have not been taken place. Today, what can we do in the short run? That is the critical question. Now, my suggestion would be, today what they have done is, they have asked Coal India to import coal, pool the prices and distribute coal on a pool price basis. Now, most people would like domestic coal and not imported coal. Also, many power plants have boilers which are geared to building only domestic coal. They cannot run on imported coal. They have to blend this. So there are problems of that kind. A better solution would be that you say that I am allocating domestic coal to all coal consumers, 75% or 80% of the needs, whatever is available to me at domestically producible. And then you say that the remaining coal, you will have to buy it from imported coal, and that the domestic coal allocation can be tradable. So if I am located on a coastal site in Tamil Nadu, I will have this 75% domestic coal license. I will sell it all to someone who is located at a different place, and I will import all the coal and run my plant on a coal. That way, there will be a market created for the price of coal, imported coal, the opportunity cost, the domestic coal, and you would have a much more efficient system without Coal India having to manage all these things and running into problems of that kind.
Independent regulation of coal sector is important to regulate the coal reserves. Setting up a regulator is must for bringing the coal sector reforms. The same has also been recommended in integrated energy policy framed by you. When is the bill likely to be considered by the cabinet?
It should be a coal regulator. The bill had been drafted way back in 2007-8, but it's still going on and is not yet been approved. Last week, I think the cabinet considered it and some of the ministers opposed it because they were not happy with the draft. And we had recommended that the price should be periodically revised by the coal regulator based on certain parameters, and this can be a very transparent way. For example, the parameters could be what's the international price of coal, what's the inflation rate, what's the domestic price of coal in the e-auction market, and so on. We had also recommended that about 20% of the coal should be sold on e-auction. Unfortunately, not that much coal is sold on the e-auction, so that you cannot exactly say that the e-auction price is the true price of coal. So we had suggested a number of things which unfortunately have not been taken place. So a regulator is critical to control a public sector monopolies as well as to control a competitive market and ensure that competition prevails. But I think we have at the moment the most important thing is to open up the coal sector to a larger number of players.
Indian government is planning to open up coal mining to private sectors. Do you feel allowing private players in coal mining would boost efficiency?
Yes, obviously. What will happen is it will boost efficiency. Some of them will bring new technology, and that we would have coal available at a cheaper rate, and particularly and more important that it will be available available, and that's the real critical. We don't have adequate coal domestically produced today. At least we should have opened up the coal exploration sector in a much more aggressive way, so that a lot more exploration and designing of coal mines takes place by various kinds of exploratory agencies, public and private. Maybe the private sector, public sector can supervise it. So a competitive environment would be good for the coal sector and the users of coal.
Thanks, Dr. Parekh, for joining us in the program.
My pleasure.
It's time for a quick break, but there is a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned.
फिर बिजली गुल अब तो 2-4 घंटे की छुट्टी।
गांव का केबल ही घटिया है।
देश में बिजली उत्पादन का लगभग 40% भाग दोषपूर्ण, घटिया केबल और बिजली की चोरी में व्यर्थ चला जाता है। क्यों ना एक ऐसा पावर केबल चुने जो बिजली बचाए और शॉर्ट सर्किट का जोखिम घटाए। सर्वोत्तम केबल रवीन केबल, प्राइम कैप, रवीन केबल्स उत्पादन। जल जल जल
जल से जल तक, मेगा वाटर से मेगावाट्स तक, SJVN लिमिटेड।
Welcome back. For its meritorious performance during the year 2010-11, India's largest 1500 megawatt Nathpa Jhakri hydropower station has been awarded Gold Shield by the Ministry of Power. Power Ministry had instituted this comprehensive award scheme for recognizing meritorious performance in power sector in the year 2004-05.
The 6 into 250 megawatt Nathpa Jhakri hydropower station at SJVN Limited was selected for this gold shield in the category of performance of hydropower station for the year 2010-11. The power station, operational since 2003-04, had established a new record of power generation. Breaking all the previous records of generation, it established a new milestone of 7,610 million units during the financial year 2011-12. The generation this year is also 710 MU, more than the MOU targets assigned by the Ministry of Power.
The project comprises of 6 turbines of 250 megawatts each, thus making it the largest hydropower project in the country. We have already crossed the targets of the last year, which were about 6,900 million units. We made a generation of 7,610 million units with an efficiency factor of 104%.
Commissioned in 2003-04, Nathpa Jhakri hydropower station established a milestone of generating cumulative 50,000 million units. The plant availability factor during last year also peaked at 104.26% against the normative average of 82%, and power station has recorded a 49% increase in generation since its commissioning. The power station is supplying valuable power to the northern grid states, namely Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Chandigarh and Delhi.
To talk in detail on company's performance excellence and future capacity addition plan, we have with us Mr. R.P. Singh, CMD, Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited. First of all, tell us, Nathpa Jhakri station has been given Gold Shield by CEA in the category of performance of hydro power station for the year 2010-11. How do you see this achievement?
In our country, more than 275 hydro stations are there, and the performance of Nathpa Jhakri, being the largest hydro plant of the country, is placed at number 1. So it is a very good and a proud moment for all of us in our SJVN family.
The generation by the power station of SJVNL has registered a 40% increase since commencement of full operations in the year 2004-05. Which all elements are responsible for such successive records of power generation achieved by the power station?
This being the largest hydropower station of the country, this has also seen the worst effect of silt-laden water damaging the underwater components of HPS. We have overcome this difficulty by using the latest technology of the world called high velocity oxy-fuel, and this plant we have already established near the power station. By this methodology, we have enhanced the machine availability, and when the water is available in the river and your machine availability is much more, you can generate whatever you feel like.
What are your future expansion plans, and are you also planning to diversify into different stream of power generation other than hydro?
We have 2 projects in Himachal, you know, 775 megawatt of Luri hydroelectric project and 66 megawatt of Dhaulasid. Jakal Sankri, Netwar Mori and Devsari projects in Uttarakhand. We have 4 projects in Arunachal Pradesh where the PFR activity is going on. Apart from that, we have our good presence in our neighboring countries, like 2 projects in Bhutan and 1 project in Nepal. SJVN is diversifying into transmission by creating an evacuation line for our Arun 3 project in Nepal, and we are diversifying into windmill also. We are putting a 50 megawatt wind power plant somewhere 3-4 states. It is under tendering states, and it is going to be finalized within 3-4-5 months. Apart from that, we are also trying to diversify into thermal as well. We are in the process of getting a project in Bihar for thermal power projects, and that is also underway.
Thanks, Mr. Singh, for joining us in the Power News.
Thank you.
It's time for another short break. Keep watching Power News.
When you are determined to be a winner, your desire to conquer is fueled by the power of your instinct. With eyes set on the target, you create your own path. Your determination inspires you to never give in. Then emerges a creator of a winning journey, blazing a trail for others to follow. We are Jindal Power Limited.
Welcome back. And now we have some news from the construction sector. Builders Association of India Mysore Centre hosted the National Convention 2012 along with technical seminar Build Tech and exhibition My Build. The theme of the conference for this year was Green Struct Mechanized Towards Sustainability. Here is a report by our correspondent Tulika Rana.
On 25th year of its inception and 17th year of Builder Association of India, BAI Mysore Centre hosted the National Convention 2012. On this occasion, they organized 3 mega events: My Reality, a mega property show; My Build, a mega construction exhibition having more than 150 exhibitors; and Build Tech, an international technical seminar with more than 600 delegates.
The first time in the history of India, 4 organizations which represent the construction industry, that's the Builders Association of India, the Confederation of Real Estate Developers Associations of India, it's called CREDAI, the National Highway Builders Federation, NHBF, and the Indian Green Building Council, IGBC. I think we came on the same platform for the very first time. I think the idea was that we want to form a grand alliance so that we can represent the issues facing our industry in a much better format.
My Build was a spectacular exhibition of building materials, interior decor and lifestyle, a mega expo of latest in construction materials, equipments and interior design. My Build provided a platform for general public, consultants, key players of construction industry under single roof for interaction and enhancing their knowledge.
As students, it's a very rare opportunity that you get to meet such stalwarts of the construction world. And exposure at this age is very important. And thanks to BII, which is providing us all these facilities and help us grow as better leaders in future.
The world has been talking about green buildings and the same has been extensively discussed and showcased on various platforms. But BAI, as the true representative of the construction industry, are looking at ways at making the construction process green and bring about a semblance of long-term sustainability for the industry.
In the last 5 years, there's a clear realization that there is simply no alternative to going green. At a certain point in time, we used to think that it's an alternative to construction. Today, we know that it is an absolute imperative. I think that is the difference that you're seeing in the last, say, 20 years.
The conference GreenStruct, mechanized towards sustainability, provided a platform for all the stakeholders to understand the best practices for sustainable development and use the integrated construction management program to ensure that the facets of time, cost and quality are maintained. All these advantages make the whole process very sustainable in the long term, assuring comfort levels for the environment and all concerned.
Through sustainability, I think that is one of the way forward we feel. By mechanization, we can contribute to sustainability in terms of reducing national resources wastage.
On this occasion, various legends of the construction industry were also felicitated with Lifetime Achievement Award for their contribution to the sector in the ceremony.
8 months ago, we got this convention. From then, we started working on this. Great experience I had really as an organizing committee chairman. I got a very good support from all our members.
In the company focus segment, today we'll talk about Schwingstetter, the pioneer of Indian concrete construction equipment industry, catering to the Indian customers with world-class concrete construction equipment. And to talk on this, we have with us Mr. Anand Sundaresan, Managing Director, Schwingstetter, India. Good evening, Mr. Sundaresan, and welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Mr. Sundaresan, can you give us a brief history of Schwingstetter in India for our viewers?
Schwingstetter India is not a company which was unknown to the Indian contractors even before we started our operation in India. Because we were represented in India through some agents, and many Indian construction companies, they have used our equipment for projects abroad where they were doing the construction contract in Libya, Russia and other places, and also for some of the projects where it was possible to import these equipments into India. In the year 1999, almost in September 1999, we took first a rented premises, about 2 acres of land, and then we started assembling concrete mixers and concrete pumps by importing components from Germany and also from our other associate group companies. The main focus of our company was to see that we indigenize as much as possible with a view to bring down the cost of this equipment. So our primary aim was to keep on reducing the cost of the equipment so that the user, we will have more and more number of users of this kind of equipments.
Well, what are the success factors of Schwingstetter in India?
There are two major focus areas were there which probably contributed to the success of our company. One is that to indigenize as much as possible to reduce the cost of the equipment. The second most important thing is that our company is a very highly customer focused company. So we work very closely with the customers. Whether it is our sales people or our service people or our design people, we keep on interacting with our customers and try to see what is lacking in our product or what is it the customer demand, and we try to incorporate those things in our product so that the equipment becomes user friendly and the customers are able to make the best use of our equipment.
Schwingstetter is a leader in the manufacturing of ready-mix concrete equipments, and recently you have launched 19 new products for making concreting easier. How has been the market response, and what are the innovations that Schwingstetter is planning for the year 2012-13?
See, the 19 products what we displayed in the last exhibition in Excon, they were basically the outcome of the interaction what we had with the customer. We, as I mentioned, we have a lot of interaction with our customer. We try to take their feedback and incorporate those things in our equipment. So the all these things, whatever we learned from the customer or whatever the need of the customer was learned by us, those were all incorporated in our equipment, and that is what we had exhibited in this product. So that is why there was a fantastic response for all these 19 products whatever we had done. In fact, we have also got order for almost all the equipment, and we are in the process of execution, and very shortly, that is in the year 2013, beginning of 2013, there is again a major construction equipment fair that is coming up. So we are already looking at a couple of products which we would like to introduce during this exhibition as well.
What changes have taken place in the infrastructure sector, and which one do you consider the most significant of all?
Definitely India is in the growth path, no doubt about it. If you look at any statistics, whether it is per capita consumption of cement, per capita consumption of concrete, or the installation of cement, the capacity of the cement installed in India, we are the third largest producer of India. But the consumption of all these things, if you look at it, we are still in the infancy stage. We are at a very, very low level. So the growth prospects are unbelievable in our country. Secondly, in the last 10 years or 12 years after the liberalization process, every government, irrespective of whichever government that comes in the center, everybody is putting a lot of thrust on the infrastructure development. So there is a huge potential available for these products in our country. So if you look at it, the demand for these kind of equipment are likely to grow in the future.
Is Quicksetter geared up to meet the challenging demands of the market?
And there is a demand for this kind of product, obviously that comes with a lot of challenges as well. Now the challenges are, how will you keep pace with the demand? That means you have to keep on adding more and more capacities. When you want to add upon more and more capacities, you also need sub-suppliers and vendors who can supply you components for all this, producing all this equipment. Not only that, you also need manpower. You need trained manpower, fitters, welders, skilled laborers. You need good service people. You need good sales people to cater to this. So all these are all, it is a mixed challenges are coming from all the sides.
How do you foresee the future of construction and infrastructure industry in India by 2020?
I think, we are just in every single angle, if you look at it, we are in the tip of the iceberg. If we want to catch up with the developed countries, the infrastructure that is available in the developed countries, and if we want to come closer to them, then, we have to do a lot of investment on infrastructure, and that will create a huge opportunity for all these construction equipment manufacturer as well. Of course, it is all, when you say infrastructure development, it is a construction activity, and when you say construction activity, it cannot be done without mechanization, and when you want to do mechanization, it will give a real big boost to all the construction equipment industry. That the concreting industry is likely to, concreting equipment manufacturing industry is likely to grow more than 10 times by 2020. That means this business today is at about $300 to $350 million, which is likely to grow to almost $4 billion. So $4 billion is about 20,000 crores of construction equipment to be manufactured in India. That's an unbelievable growth. So definitely there is a huge and a big opportunity available for our products.
Thanks, Mr. Sundareshan, for joining us in Power News.
Thank you very much.
With this, we come to an end of this edition of Power News. Keep sending us your suggestions and views at powernews@zenetwork.com or call us on 011-405-60701. As always, we look forward to your feedback. Do join us next week for more news and updates. Till then, goodbye and take care.